This is a review on the Nerf Fortnite SR. Included is the blaster itself, scope that comes detached, some Nerf Elite darts, and the instructions. Nerf Fortnite SR is a single-shot, 4-shot capacity hammer-action gun in the Fortnite Elite series that features a orange and white paint job. The gun resembles a revolver, however it is not functionally a revolver, it's just a 4-shot gun. However, this is to resemble the in-game gun of the scoped revolver. Starting at the front, we have the 4 end-strap barrels. However, it only shoots one at a time, starting from the top to bottom, using a smart arrow restrictor system. As long as you have a dart primed and the hammer pulled, it will shoot a dart. Note with all smart arrow restrictor systems, it will shoot slightly softer in the lower barrel relative to the top barrel. So the top barrel will shoot the hardest and the lowest barrel shooting the softest. This is just an inherent flaw with the smart arrow restrictor system, but it is worth noting. Moving up, we have the front iron sight. There's no rear iron sight. I mean, you can try and remove the scope and line up your shot, but I'm not 100% sure if this is intended. Moving down below that, we have the Fortnite logo. This is a Fortnite gun as mentioned previously. Again, this is the N-Strike tactical rail to which I have the included scope attached. To attach the scope, go from front to back and wait for it to click in like that. The scope itself is pretty cool. It is an orange in design, completely orange. It has a front piece of plastic here with the crosshairs built into it, and in the back there's no plastic. The scope won't help you aim, but it does actually look quite cool. This is the scoped portion of this gun. Again, you can add any N-Strike compatible attachments onto this rail, and this scope will go into any N-Strike tactical rail. Moving down, we have the cylinder system. This is purely cosmetic. This is not how the gun actually fires. This is just to have in-game resemblance to the scoped revolver. Moving back, we have the trigger. This is an orange trigger system, so it will shoot in par with the rest of the world. Again, this is only worth noting for you Australians. I did buy this in stores in Australia, and this was an orange trigger. However, I have been seeing grey triggers sold online. So if you are Australian, just check which one you're getting sent. Some retailers like Kmart will sell the the orange triggers, but I have seen a few online, so just be careful which one you're buying. The trigger is kind of unique being a hammer action gun, so I'll come back to it after I talk about the priming handle. This orange piece up here is the priming handle. It is a hammer action style to resemble a hammer. Prime the gun, pull the hammer down into the rear position to which it will click in place. When the priming handle is placed, the trigger is locked into place. When the priming handle isn't primed, the trigger is quite free and loose like this. However, when you pull the priming handle back, any slight pressure to pull the trigger will drop the catch. This being a hammer action gun, the priming handle and the trigger have direct correlation with each other. So when the priming handle is in the rear position, you actually can pull the priming handle down, press the trigger in, and slowly release the hammer into the unprimed position. So this is no longer primed, depriming the gun. Moving back, we have the grip. The grip is quite big, however, it is welcoming to all hand sizes. My hands, I'll say medium hands, and I get around it quite well, but also smaller hands will get around it perfectly fine. So, I'll show you it firing. Okay, I'll be firing the included blue and purple Elite darts. These are just colored differently. They are regular Elite darts. Shooting some Econ waffle head darts. So see how it fired this dart without it really shooting. So it took some air off of it, but it didn't really shoot it, so. Little bit of longer clip of me showing the gun firing because the smart arrow restrictor system was kind of playing up for me. Now, I want this to be completely honest with you. I don't think it's the gun's fault. I think it's more my fault. I think the dart's getting a bit weird. I don't know. Because when I initially purchased this gun, I did have darts that worked perfectly fine. It didn't even miss a beat. But now it's starting to split a few ones out. I'm not really sure what's going on because I tried new darts. I tried Econ waffle head darts that were newer. It's not really consistent in what's happening. Those blue and purple darts, that was actually the first time I ever fired them through the gun. So they did work pretty well. So I'm not 100% sure what's causing them. I'm pretty sure it is the darts themselves. So I'm pretty sure it's my doing, but I am going to note that. And I have noted that already. Just note that if the darts wear down, the firing performance will decrease. So when I first purchased the gun was shooting perfectly fine. Hopefully I have some footage if it played in the firing analysis, the firing shooting, or now. I do have some shots from when I first shot this video that the gun shot really well. Shooting white Econ waffle head darts. So as you can see, the gun shot really well. I don't know when that clip will play, hopefully just then. But what I'm going to say is the gun does work really well, but it is temperamental. It is a smart air restrictor system. So I'll go on to the firing analysis now. The gun shoots really well with an average shooting performance that shoots in par with the rest of the guns on the market. Again, I will note the top barrel will shoot a lot harder than the lower barrel. And taking an average of just the top barrel, you'll find it is an average shooting on par with the rest of the guns on the market. If you average in those lower barrels, you might see a little bit of a decrease. The lower barrel shooting a bit softer doesn't really impact playing experience if you know that it's going to come. So I'm personally going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a bit over exaggerated, but I am lobbing him slightly to make sure that those last ones still hit my target. From my experiences and my shooting performances, you probably will hit your target. It will just probably be at a lower velocity if you just lob them up a little bit more like that. If you're not expecting the drop off in velocity, it will actually hinder playing experience. Apart from that, the gun operates quite well. The hammer sometimes can take a bit of extra effort to prime the gun. Note that if you are a younger nerfer, you might struggle on priming this. And if you're a bit older, make sure you get your whole thumb on the priming handle. Don't do one of these, do one of these and really get your whole thumb on the gun like that. And if you still are struggling, just remember you can do it two-handed, like this, with one hand on the grip and the other one priming the gun like that. I know another complaint that I have seen that has been noted around that this extended piece of plastic up here. Again, I personally this doesn't hinder my playing experience because I don't intend on shooting this very hard. I intend on shooting it, then load up again, but a little bit slower and shooting again. But if you're trying to shoot as quickly and as fast as possible with this gun, this extended lip of plastic hiding your eyes on the barrel will significantly increase time of reload. Having you to turn the gun all the way up like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reload and shoot like that. If you're intending on running this gun hard, this will impact playing experience. However, if you have the expectations that to just shoot it, plink around, just like me, that doesn't affect my playing experience. So now for my personal opinion, and it is surprisingly high. I think the hammer action really works really well. With decent shooting performance, again, as I said, with my air resistance system, whatever, that's just the thing that's going to happen. Deal with it. I found myself enjoying this gun, plinking around with it. I think it's quite fun with the one-hand hammer action operation. Completely one-hand operable. I think if you're a casual nerfer, and you like this gun and you're looking into it and you're watching this review saying, is there any reason not to buy it? I think you should purchase it. There's not enough reasons not to buy it. If you're looking at this gun going, oh, I kind of have a gun similar to that. I already have a hammer action gun. That doesn't appeal to me. Don't get it. I don't think you need to. Something about this gun appeals to you. I think get it. I think it's perfectly fine. And now for all the modders. I really don't see any place this gun has in the modding community. You can't really remove the air restrictor because then it would shoot all 4 bullets at the same time. And you also can't upgrade the spring without it being extremely hard to prime. I'd love to see someone mod it, but personally I don't think this has a place in the modding community. I already talked about the old worn down darts. I'll just note it one more time. If you use older worn down darts, it will mess up the smart air restrictor system. If you change it to newer darts, it should fix the problem like it did for me. So, if you're interested in purchasing a Nerf SR, I'll leave the link in the description box below. I'll try and leave an Australian and American link without YouTube flagging my link. So, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.